Good afternoon. Today, let's talk about national security, more specifically, issues bordering the military and intelligence and the policing of a country. The reason I'm saying this is because I think that there is a gross misunderstanding of the positions in the military, intelligence, and police, how we perceive them as citizens of Zimbabwe. To think that people that have got military positions have got so much power that they should do as they please. Since ndivo military yacho, as if the military should be venerated so much that we have got no say but be at their mercy. Now, the military as an institution should be venerated indeed, and it has got the power and the authority to create the state and to sustain the state. But however, the positions in the military, the people who occupy those positions are not gods. They do not own those positions. They are serving at the behest or at the interest of of civic society. It's important for us to understand that, because when there's a breakdown of understanding, we get the situation that we have in Zimbabwe, where persons, people just like you and me, who have been entrusted in positions of authority in the military and intelligence, begin to view those positions as uh, as theirs. Therefore, they do as they please, making themselves kings over people. When in actual fact, it is a position of trust. Position of trust means that we as a society, we cannot all fill those military positions. We therefore need a few people who will represent us as the people. So the military of a country is a military of a group of people, okay, who needed security. All right, it's just like when you're in a neighborhood, you come up with as the neighborhood watch committee, you come up with some 10 men or women who will be securing the neighborhood. They walk at night carrying baton sticks and, arresting criminals at night or whatever. Those 10 people do not necessarily own the neighborhood. Okay. They are just 10 men in the community who are just chosen by the other 100 men to say, this, tonight is you who's roaming around the street to make sure that we're safe. You get what I'm saying? So the head of the neighborhood security is not the owner of the neighborhood. That position he is given, he's entrusted by the people in the community. So he makes decisions on behalf of the community, not on himself, not on behalf of himself. If he makes a mistake to think that because the chairperson of the neighborhood watch committee, and then he begins to think that the neighborhood is his, and therefore begins to oppress people because he's got power, then we begin to have a problem there. Then he has to be removed. So when it comes to national interest, it's just that the neighborhood watch committee of the nation is a committee that watches over a vast area of land, and a lot of people. That is like 15 to 20 million. I don't know how many Zimbabweans were, between 15 and 20 million people. So that those positions are highly elevated, and therefore they have got a huge responsibility. And one of the responsibility is to making sure that things like shares or diamonds, which belong to the nation, is actually mined properly. The money comes to the government to build schools, roads, hospitals, infrastructure, as a service delivery issues and stuff like that. Now, what you get is that these people in Zimbabwe specifically, we need to be very careful. In Zimbabwe, we've got people in the military, not the institution, but the people in that institution that are abusing their power and making us feel like we're at the mercy of the military men and women. No, we are not. They are there because we put them there. As Zimbabweans, we need to now understand what the military is. They don't own us. They do not own Zimbabwe. This Venevayo, yeah, ED, whereby he himself and his chosen clan begin to think that they own Zimbabwe. They do not own the country. Okay. The country is a constitutional republic. It is owned by all the citizens. Everybody who's born in Zimbabwe has got a stake in it. That is why I speak as a place concerning my country, because it is my right. Okay, I've got a privilege to be, I've got equity in the country. It's my country. It's yours too if you're Zimbabwean. You too have got equity to argue with me or to put your own view. So someone are asking me, who are you? Who I am? I'm a Zimbabwean. I've got the right, all right, to question things, to investigate things. I've got the right to steer my people in the direction that I believe is best fit for all of us. You too, if you're a Zimbabwean, you've got the right to steer in your own direction. Yes, you get different political parties, and therefore the ones that rule is the one that really begin to have that opportunity to take us forward. So we have got a problem with our military and security personnel. They need to go. Okay, they need to be fired. There is a because when it does what it does it together with the military, and everybody knows that. And we know that our minerals are being mined at the behest of the military men and women who profit individually, not for the country. So therefore, the military has betrayed the public trust, or the trust that the public has put on the military men. So today, I'm going to put Valerio Sobando on the line. We venerate and respect the position, but the man who is in that position is supposed to make sure that Itim Nangako doesn't steal from the country. Is there to make sure that no one in the military should steal from the country. We all know the travesty of Chiyadzwa Diamond. We know that the people that died there, and we know that the country is getting absolutely zero from the proceeds there. But we know that it is rich in alluvial diamonds, yet we get nothing from it. We know that the military owns a vast array of companies, mining interests in Zimbabwe, yet the country gets nothing from it. So I am placing my judgment as a citizen of Zimbabwe. I am condemning the military men in Zimbabwe for failing at the job and disrespecting us as citizens and betraying the public trust that we put on them. And therefore, I move forward a motion as a citizen of Zimbabwe that us as citizens of Zimbabwe must see to it that we fire the military general, Valerio Sobando, together with Itim Nangako and the rest of the men and women in the military who are looting Zimbabwe dry, including those that are in Central Intelligence who are looting Zimbabwe dry because they are failing us when we have trusted them. Okay, so these people must be fired. There's nothing wrong with the institutions in Zimbabwe. The systems that we set up are world standard. But the problem is the people that occupy those positions. Another area, the way we need to fire people is the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. That John Mangoja Kai must go. All right. In the new government, the first thing that the new president must do is to fire the Reserve Bank governor. Number two, sniff out thieves in the military. Don't be afraid of them. Hey, listen. Those people, those guns and the weapons in the military are not their private property. It is my property. It is your property as a Zimbabwean. Okay, the military apparatus is mine and yours as a Zimbabwean. It does not belong to Valerio Sibanda. He is our servant. Valerio Sibanda is a public servant, and we must put him to task for breaking the 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 what to call it, the breaking I'm looking for a word, can't find it, the trust that he should have with us. Okay, he's breaking the contract between the public and him. And as a military general, he is the one who's leading all the other military generals. And we know that the shenanigans that is going on there, and our people are dying, and our people are hungry, they're suffering. And these people in those positions, they sit in those positions as if that those positions are God-given for them to sit on them forever. You know what? I really touch the military because I highly respect the institution. And I believe that we need to build the country using the institution of the military. But hear me clearly, I respect the institution. And the people that are in there, they need to deserve to be in there. That E.T. Mnangagwa put Sean Mnangagwa in the military. For what purpose? What is he doing that is aiding to the betterment of the Zimbabwean people's lives? You are going to ask me, so how do you fire the military? You go figure out. It's your country, right? You are the citizens of Zimbabwe. You go figure out how are you supposed to fire them. You have to fire them. Seriously. I don't see the use of Valerio Sibanda anymore. Because Valerio Sibanda just had one job to do. One job to do for the sake of all the Zimbabweans. And up to today, he still hasn't done that job. And because Valerio is not doing that job, I am passing my own judgment as a citizen of Zimbabwe that he too must go. Why must we keep him there? Because the integrity of the military is when it is able to keep the country's institutions well run by proper people. Because you have got the gun, but that gun is not yours. The people in the military need to know the guns in the military, they do not belong to them. They belong to us. Even the position that they occupy do not belong to them. They belong to you and I, if I'm a Zimbabwean, and I've got the right to speak about the position that is held by the people that serve my interest as a citizen of Zimbabwe. So all the guns and bullets and all the military machinery in Zimbabwe is mine and yours. And the people that are in those positions are supposed to serve my interest and your interest as Zimbabweans. And the moment they stop serving those interests, we must remove them. Okay. And don't ask me how. You've got to go figure out. Are you not a citizen? Do you not have equity in there? Yes. Figure out how you're going to remove them. But Sarai, they must go. Okay. Do we agree that they must go? And the one who has got the authority to fire them, do you know who it is? It is His Excellency, who himself must go. He himself is the problem that this country is facing right now. We all know that. Therefore, for us to fire people in the military, we need to fire the president and get a new president who will fire corrupt people in the military. Yes, fire them. Who will fire corrupt people in intelligence and in police. My chef who are getting fat when our people are suffering and begin to have this mindset that those jobs are theirs by right. You do not have a birthright for any position in the country. Nobody, not even one person has got a birthright. All those positions are positions of trust for the sake of the public good. And once you abuse those positions, you are a criminal and you are liable to a criminal justice system. Talking about the justice system, another place where we need to sort out there as well. If there's criminals in the justice system who are holding those public positions for protecting the people in ZANU-PF and military, they too must go. They must go. So the new president must fire them, including the Chief Justice. If he is the chief instigator and protector of criminality in Zimbabwe by abusing the rule of law and the constitution, he too must go. Okay? We need to bring civility in this barbaric nation. We're a pariah because barbarism has taken over. Only civility is going to take us forward. When we have got political leaders that is more inspired to do their job right. That's what we need. And bad things happen when good people do nothing. It's not when bad people rise. Bad people will always rise. But it's when good people do nothing about it. I'm very happy when I heard that the Catholic bishops finally sent out a word condemning what Mnangagwa is doing in the recalls of Parliament. You remember a few days ago I made a video saying that even during the War of the Barons in England, it was the Archbishop of Salisbury in England who had to intervene to get the things going. We too need the church in this transition. The church needs to grow some balls. I'm sorry, those two words don't go usually hand in hand. Growing balls of steel and the church. As in church, Jesus was not a nice guy. I plead you to go and reread the Bible. I always argue with people about the character of Jesus. They think I'm lying. Go and read Matthew again. Go and read Mark again. Go and read Luke again. And specifically check the ways that Jesus said and check the things that Jesus did. Jesus was not a nice guy. Okay? Alright. By nice guy, what do I mean? Wayengaxoxobisi njengomfundisi kuthiwa hayi mina ngingumfundisi, hayi shemo, he's a mfundisi. Have you ever heard when they say, that guy, he is not a gangster, he's a mfundisi, so he's a pastor, meaning that you can just do anything that you like to him and he's never gonna say anything back, he's not gonna do nothing back. Jesus was not that. Jesus was not the softy mfundisi. Okay? Jesus was sometimes tough, stern, and took robust moves. He's the one who went to the church when he didn't even have a position in the church. He went there and overturned tables of the merchants in the church. They lost money. They thought that they had authority and the right to do it, but Jesus went there and overtook it and said that the house of my father shall be called a house of prayer, not a den of criminals and thieves. So is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a house of God. The nation of Zimbabwe should be a nation of prayer and worshiping Jehovah and building society, not a den of thieves and criminals. The government of Zimbabwe must no longer be allowed to be a den of thieves and criminals. So all criminals in government must go. Okay, all of them, I don't care how many they are. If everybody in government is a criminal, then everybody in government must go. Don't ask me how we're going to have to do that. You have got stake. It's time for you to be that thinking and figuring out. It's time that we stop watching these YouTube videos and looking at what happened. So what did Sadik say? So what did Chamisa say? What's Nagaga going to do? What are you going to do? Is it Chamisa's country only? Is it Sadik's country? Anyway, why do we want to put trust in Sadik? Is it Sadik's country? You see, the Americans are always say, the Zimbabweans must sort their problems. They are right. Americans are not Zimbabweans. Sadik is not Zimbabweans. You listening. It's good that you are listening to me after this place. It means that you have got interest and equity in your country and want to succeed. Now I am going to ask you, what are you going to contribute? Okay, the sea is made of water, but that water is not one droplet. It's actually tiny millions of molecules of water. But when those millions of billions, or I don't know how many molecules of water of water molecules, when they come together, they form a huge, heavy body of water that can kill a person, a huge body of water that can sustain life. So me, I'm on my own, I'm just one single unit. But together with you, we become Imbumba, a huge, strong army, stronger than the Zimbabwean military. We can detect to them what they can do if we get that unity, and that unity of purpose and common understanding. That is important. The common understanding that we are a nation, and we show those guys the door. We give Nangagwa and his deputies, and we give Valerio Sebanda, because Valerio Sebanda told you that is why we must give him marching orders, because he's failing to do the one job that I'm not going to tell you. It is only that one job that Valerio must do, that if he does, we might say, at least you did the job, you stay. Okay, and even other army generals, if they actually do that job together with Valerio Sivan, we as Zimbabweans would clap hands and say, yeah, we finally done the job that we actually needed you, that we put you there to do. If they are not going to do that job, then what use are they to us? They are like salt that has lost its flavor, and we should just fire them. And they mustn't be asking me, who am I to talk about firing them? I am a citizen of Zimbabwe. I've got equity. Don't ask me what authority do I have. I've got authority. I've got authority because I'm a citizen of Zimbabwe, just like every other citizen have got authority. And the authority that you have as an army general to lead that army, you get it from me and people like me, because you save me and people like me, not yourself. You're not born with a country. You do not create a country. The country was created by God, and created by God for the people who live in that country. And the people that live in that country, including me, say it's time for a change. Oh God, change is coming to Zimbabwe. Don't play. Let me tell you something. Change is coming. Whether Idim Nangagwa likes it or does not like it, change is coming. It's either gentlemen and women in the Zimbabwe military and ZANU-PF begin to move and change, or else change will be forced upon them. For change is coming. We are taking our country and making our country succeed. Whether you like it or you don't like it. I don't care whether you are America or you are China or you are Canada or you are Ethiopia or you are whatever you are. Change is coming to Zimbabwe, and we're building our country. Finish and clap. So for that varana ipapo. Kana usengati hauti. Asi kati khulumile so. Sele wena. What do we add to it? Holy is God. Have a great afternoon.